Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that mean reversion on the Bitcoin chart. As we did have that dramatic drop yesterday, we are just kind of returning to the midline on the Bollinger Bands there. Guys, I do want to remind you that we do have, some type of CPI and a PPI data coming out next Tuesday and Wednesday. You're going to want to beat that median forecast number here in order to see the charts potentially pump. Guys, if we do better than the last reading, that is lower than the last reading, then that should be positive in general, but we want to beat the forecast, in fact. Guys, let's just jump straight to the chart. Here you can see our wedge. And essentially, we're just doing the same thing that I've been mentioning over and over again, just bottom to top, top to bottom to top, top to bottom to top, and then back to bottom again. And now we've just kind of bounced off the bottom, and we're back at the middle. So we're just having that mean reversion. All of these are mean reversions of each other, and they're just all coming back to the midline, this kind of inner skeleton on the wedge that I have here, which is where we don't really have a decisive position. If it flips above it, then yeah, we could go to the top. Flips below it, and yeah, maybe we could revisit the bottom or even drop out the bottom, right? So yeah, yesterday we actually did have some good news, which is that contrary to some of the indications, we did end up getting a bounce. Now, if we do put on that old 6-hour reading, there was a little bit of a mixed message there in that this thing was just plummeting really fast from where we were. And what we needed to see was it bounce high enough to grab the bearish control zone and actually pull itself out of it. Now, the bearish readings that we had actually were correct. You can see that for 6 hours we were dropping, and then the next 6 hours we were dropping, and then the next 6 hours we were dropping. And in fact, we even, just continued that sideways kind of drop area. So basically all through the night. So the indicators were actually correct, but it just so happens that we got a lot of buying pressure that did bring us up to that bearish control zone. And then what do I say? When we are achieving one level on a momentum basis, then you can expect to go to the next level. And where did we go to? Boom, right to the momentum pool. Now that we've poked our head into the momentum pool, you can see that we attempted to go to the other side of it. Again, like you flip one line, expect to go to the next line. But currently we're being rejected there. So we're going to have to see, do we hold this pool and then flip on top of it above the volatility pivot? Then that's going to give us our best chance for continuation. Now, guys, I did mention this was the previous pool, but because we spent so long in that location, right, at the bottom of this wedge, we actually built up new structure. So I do have to give you a new 6 hour. And as you can see from the 6 hour, because of this positive momentum at the bottom here, and you can also see this is a higher high than here, and these are higher lows, right, than here. So we actually did build up some positive momentum, and that means that there was a play to be had. And you can see that when we captured the bearish control zone, we actually ended up flipping the volatility pivot, which had lowered overnight, and then we got on top of the hold momentum. So on a 6-hour play basis, this is still looking pretty good. The only problem is that we do see the Bollinger Bands up there, and we really do want to flip that and then flip the neutral point of control for that continuation to potentially to a 27,000 or whatnot. Okay, so that's the bigger play. But right now on the 6-hour, things are looking pretty good, and we're not really going to violate that unless in 3 hours we close under 25,823. And as long as we're above 26,000, let's just say 26,000 flat, then we're looking in pretty good shape on the 6-hour. So yeah, I mean, the chart did what it needed to do overnight, and you can't watch it 24/7, but we had the levels to show that we did claw our way out of the bearish control zone on the previous chart, right? Right over here, we clawed our way out overnight. And then we just used it as a launch pad today when we put in that bullish structure. And here we are. Guys, let's just go ahead and go to the daily. Of course, we did have a daily close yesterday as well, but we do see that that just really just was at the bottom of the momentum pool, and we're just struggling with that momentum pool in general on the daily. So this just suggests sideways action until we're above 26,600. Above 26,600, then we can be talking about these Bollinger Bands coming down, and then us getting on top of there and flipping this, and then potentially taking out the neutral point of control, which is our goal, in order to see that, perhaps 30,000 someday, whenever that happens. Do I believe it's going to happen in the next, couple days? I have no idea. We're just in no man's land, guys. So, the 6 hours positive, every other time frame is kind of negative, and then the daily went back to neutral-ish. But we're not really neutral because the neutral point of control is all the way up here at 27,000, which I keep telling you is my line in the sand, and we're much closer to the bearish control zone. Okay, so yeah, on a daily basis we are currently oriented neutrally, right? We have this higher low, but we're also having a lower high. And so just from a structural point of view, we're neutral, but from an overall momentum level, right? When we just kind of scale back, we don't really have that strong, preference for direction until we're above 27,000. And then just like we've just kind of been drifting on the bottom side over here, as long as we've been under 27,000, we'll have more of a chance to drift to the upside should we get above 27,000. And we will also be carrying out this wedge, which does have a measured move up to that $30,000 area. So guys, again, like 6 hour doing fine, daily doing fine, and then the rest of the time frames are really the concern. For example, here's the weekly. Let me just jump over to the weekly time frame there. Oops. And what you can see is that our price just is nowhere near even the momentum pool for the weekly. So, we're just bouncing around between the neutral point of control and the hold momentum. Now, on the daily basis, we're under the neutral point of control. On the weekly basis, we're above the neutral point of control. So in some sense, the weekly chart is stronger than the daily. But on the other hand, the daily has captured the momentum pool, which means it's adding momentum, whereas the weekly chart is under the momentum pool and it's still just losing momentum. Okay, so we're getting a nice bounce off the bottom of the wedge. There is a chance, all right? So you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance that we're going to recover that Bollinger Bands midline. That's what I was looking for in the last episode, for us to recover this, and we did get a nice bounce. We haven't recovered it yet, but should we recover it, then again, above 27,000 is where we could see a potential projection to the upside. Until then, if we close underneath the Bollinger Bands and underneath the middle of this wedge, and if we start getting embedded on this neutral point of control, then that's going to suggest that that move to the downside could end up carrying out. I told you guys I don't have a directional preference at this moment. There's just not enough data, but I just want to carve out both directions so you can at least visualize it. And if we do go for a dive, then again, like 23,000, 21,000 is on the table, even a flash wick to like 20K. Okay, guys. And just don't want to, you know, pull your leg or anything like that. Um, if we go to the monthly, obviously the monthly isn't even close to being over, but if we go to the monthly, you can see that this thing is just kind of hanging on here, right? It's we're above the volatility pivot, but we're so far above it that we could easily check back to it down here at 18. It might rise a little bit, but maybe 18 to 20K. It could rise significantly. maybe 21K. But we need to get back above that momentum pool on a monthly basis. So my deadline is really going to be the next 15 days, the next 20 days. I want to see us get above, within the next 30 days for sure. I want to see us getting above 27,300-ish. Okay, preferably above 28,000. And I'm going to say, yeah. Okay, on a monthly basis, we're going to be able to capture that Bollinger Band's midline, and then maybe we can explore even significantly higher numbers. Okay, I don't want to mention them right now, but we could explore significantly higher numbers, and this could have all just been a fake out. All right, so there's our hopium. But guys, just take it all with a grain of salt, and make sure that you're planning both ways, and also keep your eye out for that data on inflation on Tuesday and Wednesday, because it's definitely going to affect the way that the stock market plays out, and the stock market could end up pulling us down with it should it have a drop. And guys, there's only like 4 or 5 stocks that are really keeping the stock market, heavily afloat. And so, if there's bad news in the stock market, then those 4 or 5 stocks could be affected, and that could just end up bringing down Bitcoin with it. So, you know, it's just nothing's fixed yet, guys. Nothing's fixed yet. And if we have a little drop, grab some liquidity, pop back up. That's on the table. If we just have a breakdown and the stock market just breaks down and we test our bottom, right, like somewhere around that 18 to 16,000, that's also on the table. And I'm totally open-minded to flipping the top of that wedge and just pushing up should we grab 27,000 and 28,000 pretty quickly after that. Then I could easily see mid-30s and get on that bullish train again. But we're just going to keep you abreast of this. And, things change fast in crypto. News comes at us fast. You're going to have to take a chance on some of these structures. There's a reason why I carve out this pattern for you, right? It's because that you long here, right? You long here, you long here, you long here, you long here. You don't do it here, right? You don't do it here. And likewise, you short here, you short up here, you short up here, you short up here. And if we get up there again, it's just going to be another shorting moment, okay? And then, yeah, we're going to be right all of these times. And one time we're going to be wrong and it's going to break through. And then, okay, you're just going to have your risk management, right? Or if it comes down here, one time we're going to be wrong and then it continues to break down. But look at all the other times that we were right. So, that's trading for you. All right, guys, that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.